It was a regular morning, about 8:30, 8:45. Got a knock on the door, and it was my sister-in-law. She just looked at me and said, "There's been an accident. It was Megan. She didn't make it." I just screamed out, "No." Her best friend, Lisa, had also passed away in the accident. The young man hit them from behind and they went into a tree. His blood alcohol concentration was 0.202. From the moment that she was gone, my life was immediately changed. There were things that I, as a mom, had to learn all over again. She was an identical twin. They had the same skin, same hair. There were moments when I would look at her and it would kind of take my breath away and I'd be like, "Oh, you look just like Megan." And I would not allow myself to go there. Within the first 2 weeks, a little old man asked me at a store about my children, and I just left her out because I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable. And I boohooed. I mean, I sobbed in my car all the way home. And I said, "That will never happen again." For the next 14 months, we were preparing to have a trial. He pled not guilty. I kept looking for him to have remorse, and I couldn't see it, and that kind of made me angry. I hated what he was doing. I hated that he was defending himself when, in my heart, in all of our hearts, we knew that he was guilty. I knew immediately that I was going to have to forgive him, but I wrestled with it because what's my family going to think, and how are they going to view me? Are they going to think that I didn't really love Megan? Immediately following the trial, I was at the attorney's office and he said he had a letter from Eric for me, and I read it and absolutely sobbed. He was apologizing. I knew that he meant it, and I really needed to hear that. The sentencing, that was our one shot at telling the judge, the world, how we felt. I just told him the things that we missed about Megan and how beautiful she and Lisa were. In the middle of it, I just looked at him and said, "Eric, I forgive you." Eric stood up and immediately just all of this emotion.
"I'm really sorry to the families for what I've done. I don't know how it must feel, but I know what I'm going through. And it's gotta be worse. I'm sorry."
My mom asked me if she could be on his calling list. I agreed that that would be fine. I happened to be at her house one time when he called. I heard my mom say, "Well, she's right here, hold on." Immediately when I said hello to him, he said, "I want you to know that I take full responsibility for what I did that night. And I know that if I had not been drinking, that Megan and Lisa would still be alive today." For me, that was huge. Even though I knew he was sorry for what he had done, I also wanted to hear him say that he took responsibility. Right after that, my daughter called me and she said, "Mom, is it a burden on you that he's going to be in prison for 22 years? And I said, "It really is. It's like we've got another person, another life that is lost." And so my daughters and my son-in-law and my mom and I went to visit him at the jail. And he said, "It's because of Megan and Lisa that I have my eternal salvation." And my daughter responded back to him and said, "Megan and Lisa were the kind of girls that would have died for your eternal salvation." And we all put our hand on the glass, and he put his hand on the other side of the glass. He said, "I just want you to know that no matter what the judge decides today, I'm going to be okay. The fact that you would come here and plead for me to get out early is huge. You've already given me the gift." The courtroom was a little bit different this time. We were asking for mercy for Eric. We all got to speak again. Eric even spoke that day. It was obvious, hearing him speak, what a different person he was. Everyone felt it and everyone saw it. And the judge said, I'm going to be gone for 15 minutes. And during that 15-minute time, I saw my chance to go and give him a hug. And so I made a beeline down there to hug him, and I had no idea that my kids followed me. And I went down there and I hugged him, and then my daughters hugged him, and he was preparing to shake my son's hand. And my son pushed it away and hugged him. That brother of Megan, who he knew had to love his sister more than anything and just wanted to protect her whole life. For Eric, that was the most profound moment of that whole day. And then the judge came out. He quoted a couple of scriptures which just blew us away. Eric remembered one scripture, and we remembered James 2:13, mercy always triumphs over judgment. And then he reduced his sentence so that he could get out after 11 years. I could hate him forever, and he could be in jail for 22 years. He could be in jail for the rest of his life, but that's not gonna bring Megan and Lisa back.
Hi. I'm good, how are you?
I have prayed for Eric throughout this whole process, that he will be able to forgive himself. I love him very much. I really do, because I've gotten to know him and I know his heart, and I know that he's got a beautiful heart. Megan and Lisa are honored. They're remembered and probably have touched more hearts and more lives, even being in heaven, than they probably would have being here on earth. So that makes me smile.